Hello YouTubers, and welcome to another video here. I'm just going to show you quickly some new records that I've bought for my collection and my thoughts about them. First of all, I'm going to show you a record that probably most of you either have or have had sometime in your life, because it was a record that sold a lot. It's Atlantic Crossing by Rod Stewart from 1975, although this is a Canadian pressing. It is the record that contains two of his most famous songs, Sailing and I Don't Want to Talk About It. But the reason why I bought it isn't that, because I think Rod Stewart is okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him. Not really, although I have to say he's made some really great songs. But the reason why I wanted this album, and it is not difficult to get hold of either, is because of the recording of It's Not the Spotlight by Jerry Goffin and Barry Goldberg. Because that's one of my favorite songs, but I've heard it with many other artists. I think his most famous recording is this from 1975. This is a record that you can find in most second-hand shops when it comes to records or vinyl records. So it's not that difficult to get hold of. Sometimes it's difficult to find in good condition, but I managed to do this, and it wasn't that expensive either. Then we have this 10-incher. It is a Record Store Day issue from I live the past. From 2015. It is a nice golden vinyl, and it contains some different recordings with 60s groups like the Honeys and the Castells and the Timers, with both stereo mixes and stereo backing tracks. This A-side here contains He's a Doll in different versions by the Honeys, a female vocal group where Brian Wilson's wife was a member, and Brian Wilson also, I think, both wrote the song and is the producer and arranger, and so it's got a nice surf style here. And this is record. I didn't buy it on Record Store Day, but I know it is a Record Store Day issue. Okay, back to the 60s. Oh, we didn't leave it. Alright, this is British issue of the Marvelettes. It's just called the Marvelettes. It's usually referred to as the Pink Album, and this is from 1967, and it has the lovely flip over like this, on the back. I know I'm very fond of British issues from the 1960s, even though those who are sold through EMI, because this is of course on the Tamla Motown label, but it was EMI who distributed it in England or Great Britain. So it's a lovely issue. Wasn't that extremely cheap, but well worth the price, I think. Okay, and then over to an American classic, saxophone classic, Boots Randolph. Let's see if we can skip. Boots Randolph, Jaggedy Sax on Monument. This is of course a recording from 1960s. This is a pressing from the 1970s because it has they have pasted over with a 1970s logo here, and we have the old Monument logo here, and it has the 1970s label too. Those of you who are most of you are probably familiar with the tune of those of you in England or in Europe or in Scandinavia. You're familiar with the title tune, because that's the theme tune to the Ben Hill show. So it's kind of music that you listen to and you think about a fat Englishman chasing more or less undressed young girls. So nice view. But he was a great saxophone player, Boots Randolph, and I was happy I found this album. We have other songs also like Cotton Fields and Walk Right In, and very good songs. I Can't Stop Loving You, It Keeps Right On a Hurtin'. So it's a great album with instrumental saxophone pop music. I think the original was from 1963. Okay. Record with the Shadows, The Sound of the Shadows, and this is a record from 1965 where the Shadows are accompanied by the Nori Paramore strings, so it is a bit more soft and a bit more easy listening in its style, but still great guitar music. This is a later pressing from probably from the 1970s. It has the black and silver label. It's a Columbia issue, as you can see. And but it's probably not Shadows at their best in my view, because I don't really like too much strings on pop music. It doesn't, I don't think it makes everything a bit mushy, but still worth having, worth listening to. Right, let's go over to our Brazilian corner, because I was at a store in Stockholm where they have some nice and rather, well, at least in Sweden, rare records with Brazilian music. And the record seller, he's also very fond of Brazilian music, and he was happy that somebody else found them interesting, because not that many are in that Brazilian corner digging for those records there, but I did, and I'm going to show you what I found. First we have Elsa Soares and Roberto Ribeiro. Pardon my Portuguese. Sangue, suor e racha. Pardon, I have no idea what I'm saying, but it's a very nice album on the Odeon label. It's from 1972. Very nice label. I've never seen this before. I don't know if you can see it. On Stereofonico. Very happy I found it. And when I showed it to another record collector, they told you, well, they asked me, have you heard Elsa Soares' newest album? It was issued the other year, and I said no, I didn't even know she was still active, because, well, she's up in her 70s now. I was told it was brilliant, so I will look for it. I will definitely look for it if she's still going strong. Okay, then we have Maria Bethania, Vincius de Moraes, and Toquinho. This is an album that they made together in 1970, although this is a later French pressing, I think from mid to late 70s, but it doesn't matter, it's still superb music, and many of the tunes that are being played on this album, I recognize them because I've heard them before on Swedish radio when I was a kid, because Swedish radio, from time to time, they were really fond of playing Brazilian music, and I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I uploaded a picture of this record on my Instagram account. I usually don't talk about the different social media here because, well, but I recognize that you're supposed to do that. So my Instagram account is BEJI74, if you're interested. Anyway, I uploaded this picture of this record on my Instagram account, and one of the people, or one of the other accounts that liked, seems to be Maria Bethania's. I don't know if it's her or if it's an official account, but it looked very official because it was pictures of her now. Because she's a bit older today. Of course, we're all older today. I am much older than I was in 1970. I was minus 4 years old then. So that was really cool. Really cool. She's a great singer. Great singer. And of course, Vincius de Moraes and Toquinho are also incredibly good. And I'm very happy when I found recordings with them here in Sweden. You don't do that every day, so to speak. And then we have Luisa Maura. Okay, what is this? Samba Peno Chao. Again, pardon my Portuguese accent, or whatever it's supposed to be. Never mind. This is a record issued in 1977, and it's on the Beverly label. She made a couple of records in the late 70s, but I haven't really found that much information about her. She seems to be, I don't know if she's a bit forgotten today, but I couldn't find that much information about her because I was, of course, when I buy many of these, I don't know that much about it, but it looks very interesting, and when I play it, I listen to it, and I really like it. I want to know more about the artist. But when it comes to Luisa Maura, I didn't find out that much, other than she's made 1 or 2 records. I went to the Discogs site, and this record, I couldn't even find it there. So, not sure what that's all about. But if you have more information about her, feel free to comment. It's great anyway, really great singer. And then finally, well, this is an American record recorded at the Village Gate, but still it's very much Brazil. Sivuca, live at the Village Gate from 1975 on Vanguard. I've talked about Sivuca many times, and well, I can't really say that much more than I really love his records. They're so filled with happiness and musical skills and heart and joy, and well, you become a better person by listening to records with Sivuca. Yeah, that's my view anyway. Right, that's all for now. Have a great day, and bye for now. Thanks for watching.